Alright, I think that's enough of that. So, here we are again with the continued incomplete history of the Metroid universe. So, I said this on Twitter, but I think I've gotten, oops. Thought I had the trilogy version set up properly. Let me double check a couple of things here. Probably a cable that got knocked loose. Or cable that wasn't getting enough power. Should be fine now. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, so, since I'm playing the trilogy version of this, actually... Okay. Yeah, anyway, since I'm playing the trilogy version, that means, well, the menus are a little different. This is obviously not the, oh, fun. What's going on here? Okay. There's a new, like, central menu, or, like, hub menu. It skips over the original game's menus, but I think that'll be okay for our purposes. I did have a file that I tested out, make sure the game would run pretty alright. My setup here is a little slapdash, so I just want to tweak it a little, make sure it works right, because I gotta get my sensor bar is a little too close, it doesn't work. Anyway, we'll start with the new file. You're supposed to pick a me, but since this is an emulator, I don't really have a me set up properly. Oh yeah, so Metroid Prime 2, we won't be showing it off at all, but it had a multiplayer mode. It was kind of not great, so we will not be exploring it at all. Let's go to the options real quick. I want to review a couple of things. Sensitivity. I want to turn on advanced mode because that makes it feel oh so good. Lock on and free aim is on. Good. I also want to put fire on the triggers because that just makes a lot more sense to me. Alright. Double check the settings here. Bonus credits. We're gonna turn that off for now. Because there are things you can unlock. Fun little extras. They're mostly like concept art or like models that you can look at. Music for a music player. If you're into that kind of thing. That's all based on your progress through the games. As you can see, I don't have any progress. So, without any further ado, I think that's enough of a intro. Let's get started in the game for real. We're gonna pick Veteran because that's the well, that's the real normal mode. Please don't mind the magenta screen. That's really just straight up purple. So when we last left Samus, after blowing the hell out of space pirate operations on the planet Zebes, we encountered them again on Talon 4 and, well, blew them the hell up again. But now, she's got a proper mission. This is... Hey, Tia. Uh, this is shortly after 1. Uh, definitely... Yeah, well, I mean, it's definitely a sequel to 1. Kind of vague exactly how much time, but we're going to a completely different planet now. As you can see, Samus got a contract to help out some Galactic Federation troopers that have gone missing. You know, find out what happened to them, rescue them, whatnot. Go to this planet called Aether. And, well, things are immediately going wrong. And that was a pretty nasty storm that Samus just flew in through. But there she is with a slightly different coat paint on her armor. So unfortunately, we don't get to start with all the goodies we had last. Just got a few missiles. We have our charge beam, space jump, morph ball, boost ball. So we've got a lot of the upgrades from the end of Prime 1. Let's see here. Something else I want to do is show off the new scan visor. So remember before it had like these little icons. You can scan something. Now they just color the whole dang thing. Blue just means it's flavor text. Red means that it's something that gets added to your logbook. Well, we'll see what happens to the upgrades, but basically, yeah. So, one thing I do want to show off. Well, the logbook will show you, like when you go to the screen, it'll give you more information about what you just scanned. Like here, you can get some lore about Samus's gunship. You know, where it was produced, what it can do. The thing that's cool about this menu, well, it's hard to see it here, but I'll just pop open the actual menus. These menus are on like these 3D like nodes or something. You rotate them around and we'll go through the inventory and oh, it's just such a neat way to do the menus. I mean, I don't know how practical it is, but I think it's pretty cool. Anyway. So we've, for all intents and purposes, crashed on this planet, so I guess it's time to get to exploring. Wants us to lock on. So since I'm playing on the Wii version, I mentioned I've got free aim when I lock on. So I can keep my view centered on a target, but I can still just wave my cannon around as much as I want. I could turn that off, but it, you know, why would I? Free aim is just so good. Alright. This is not me tilting the camera down. This happens automatically, by the way. So, let's see. What can I say about this intro sequence? That's the only important thing here. You still got to scan to interface with certain devices. So the lock has armor, and to open these doors, you got to blow up the locks, which does not seem. I mean, I can see how that would work to keep something out, but once it gets in, I guess that's true of any locked door. Once something gets in, it's kind of a problem. Let's take a peek at these piles of weird creatures. Alright, so it looks like the bunch of these bug things, these splinters, have been poisoned, and that's probably what all this gas is. Let's scan that, it'll probably tell us. Yeah, it's dispensing pesticide. This is true. What I really wanted to say, though, is that it seems like blowing up the locks would make it really hard to lock it again. But this is Samus we're talking about. Even if she did blow up the locks, she would just... Even if they could relock the doors. Let's see. Indicates creature is hit by an unusual amount of weapon fire, more than necessary to kill it. Ooh. Marines are not prone to such overkill. Alright. So, I'll say this up front. I would say that, Metroid, like the original Metroid, kind of drew some inspiration from, the movie Alien. And I feel like this intro sequence draws some inspiration from Aliens. And we'll see more of that. I mean, you've got Marines in space, hostile aliens. Got our map, which is the same as ever. Anything coming here? Ooh, and first we'll scan these crawlies. Worker splinters. I'm not going to go into the logbook for every single entry, I think. That seems a bit excessive. That'd be just a little too much. Well, they're not going to hurt. Then you can, like, scan these poor, unfortunate souls. So it looks like this guy may have been killed by friendly fire, but it's a little vague whether it was intentional fire or not. There's this guy, he died of cardiac arrest, and he was extremely scared, the poor guy. He literally scared himself to death. Obviously, if this was the GameCube version, that would be the game telling me to use the R button to stay in place and free look around, but nuts to that. Well, they're all dangling. You know, there is actually a piece of lore. Repeat one guy, I think. Blunt trauma, that's not it. I think it's this guy. Difficult to determine his cause of death. Digestive fluid present within the armor. So, Subject is being broken down into a simpler matter for consumption by local predators. So there's your answer. They are all dangling because they are caught in the webbing of these splinters, and they're all getting eaten up. But this trooper is red, so let's read about Gunnery Sergeant Bennett. I'm definitely gonna look at his entry. Or their entry. Let's see. Something wrong with the lock systems. See, I'm saying. So it looks like this person here got locked outside. Let's see what the lock has to say. I've got to restore power. Imagine that. Morph ball. Hey. That was rude. Back here. Oh, you know what? That was supposed to tell me to go through. What about this fellow here? Oh. No readings from that person. Yeah, same here, more readings, and look, getting pulled up and everything. Yeesh. Got a morph ball, bomb slot. Classic. It's got that cool new little electrical arc gate thing in case you couldn't tell that you were locked in. I don't know. So I said it took some inspiration from Aliens, but it decided to deviate a little bit, I would say. Dark Trooper. Some kind of unknown biomass inside this body that is already dead. Well, rest in pieces, soldier. You can take a missile, why not? So, I think it's safe to say that some shit went down. You got a specialist Reeves here. What does Reeves have to say? He opposes the plan to try to destroy one of these splinter hives. He's worried that there may be more hives, and they could all even be connected, so attacking one could bring down the wrath of all of them. Oof. Just waiting for me. Fellas, you didn't have to roll out the red carpet, me. I feel like there's something hidden behind all of these boxes stacked up like that. No, just for health and ammo. Okay. Oh, well, there's too much fog in the way, so I couldn't get a clear view of it, but we've got a cutscene. Well, see, guns are the language that Samus understands best, so I think it works. But, hey, hello! Who's this Samus-like figure? Man, what the heck is this? Dimensional anomaly? What's this guy doing? Electrocuted. Oh, just got tangled up in some live wires. That's rough, buddy. Well, you know what they say, leap before you look. Get used to seeing that animation. That's gonna happen a lot in the game. Hey, that looks like Phazon and some kind of a dark Samus. Weird. Oh, there goes that crystal. That's probably fine, right? Crystal on a post like that? Couldn't be important. Well. That was certainly rude, I think. Oh, that is how we lose our upgrades this time around. So I don't have my double jump anymore. I don't have my grapple beam, not that it came up. I can't morph ball boost. I have no power bombs, even though technically I didn't have them before. No missiles. I don't even have regular bombs. But actually everything else is fine. So I can still turn into a morph ball. I can still do my charge beam. But, yeah, those, strange creatures just, well, they just mugged me, basically. Ah, yes, the strafing tutorial. Look at me pick off all the guys except the one I'm actually locked onto. See? Free aiming is rad. Let's see, I do want to make sure I... Oh, thank you. I do want to make sure I get all of the... at least the trooper logs while I'm here. There's usually one or two that I end up overlooking. So, hope it doesn't stay that way. So... ourselves an elevator. That technology is still alive and well in this place. Let's see. That was a doorway we couldn't go through before, because it's got this weird hologram on it. Got alien text. We need to figure out a way to translate it. Once again, locks that can only be opened by blowing them up. And I sense some enemies nearby. Heavy transport crate. It is indestructible for all intents and purposes. Ooh, it's a combat crane. Okay. I was going to make fun of the idea of a crane built for combat, but if it's used to construct temporary battle stations, I'll let it slide. These probably strongest metal in the cosmos. Don't think about blowing them up, because you can't. Those are the rules. I feel like saying, though, that something is the strongest metal in all the cosmos is, I would think that to be a dubious claim, because the cosmos is pretty big, last I checked. Oh, what the hell are you guys? These are real splinters, not just the little workers. Yeah, that's a really good point. Like, why wouldn't you want to make your battleships out of it? Or something. Like, I know, like, why don't they make the whole plane out of black box material? But, I mean, if you're dealing with space combat, you don't really have to worry about mass, I don't think, all that much. Especially if you're capable of, like, interstellar travel or whatever. I really can't imagine mass being an issue. So anyway, what do the logs say? Oh yeah, these guys are chumps. They're aggressive, but they're still chumps. Oh, look at this guy. Green Kraly. Hurts if you touch it, so just don't touch it. But other than that, it's not going to attack you. Wait. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of absurd how many things will get added to your logbook, like a bridge. Just the bridge that the Galactic Federation troopers installed here. Has to be. There we go. Let's see what happened to Private First Class Veroni here. Someone named Haley's losing sleep, getting paranoid, but the guy going steadily insane is still given a gun because, well, their numbers are shrinking fast and they need all the help they can get. Even the dubious kind of help. You know, the help that might shoot you in the back or in the face. More of that thing that we can't do anything about. Now the music has kicked in for real. We're in the temple grounds on Aether. Glass shields, is invulnerable to everything except a missile. Only a missile. I don't want to deal with you punks. Oh, I don't know if you were able to catch that, but they still do the thing where if a bright light goes off near Samus, you can see her eyes reflected in the front of her visor there. They kept some of those touches in, which is pretty cool. I'm glad they did that. It could just be that I'm just gotten used to all of them from the first game, but I feel like they dialed those touches back. But I'm glad they kept the most memorable ones. Alright, so we moved that crate all the way here. And then, Cable strength is at critical. What will happen if we shoot it? Well, obviously it'll snap. Can I scan the gate for... Yep. Composed of densium. But it's vulnerable to high-yield explosives. Wonder if we'll be able to deal with that. Oh, wait. Probably, what, more densium? Oh, come on. I like that Samus has clearance to proceed through this gate, because the troopers here have been cut off from the main force. So how were they able to give Samus clearance if they haven't, if they don't know she's coming? Like, do they just have some passcode that Samus just has? That actually would make a little sense now that I think about it. That maybe the Federation gave her that code for embarking on this mission. Otherwise, it seems like kind of a security risk. To just give that to a private citizen. An armed private citizen, for that matter. Anyway, Private Bruda? Let's see here. Oh, he's just talking about how, yeah, they have not been able to establish communications. Which is weird, because here's this system that's clearly functional. See, it even made the little chime to let you know that it works. Well, except for that. The atmospheric interference that Browder was talking about is very much real. Hey. I was going to talk about how it's cool to see the turret here taking out those little things. Then it turned fire on me, and that is not cool. I think, yeah, a nice thing if you're concerned about filling up your logbook completely is that after you blow up a turret, you can still scan the base to you can still scan the base of the turret to add it to your logbook if you haven't already. You'd rather deal with the immediate threat first. Specialist Angsith. See what Angsith has to say. Shoot half the men and stuck on monitor duty. Now this wouldn't happen to Samus Aran. He'd be out there taking care of business. Not pushing buttons and sending reports. Looks like Samus has a bit of a fan in this Specialist Angsith. That makes sense. She's had a pretty successful career so far dealing with space pirates. And that's just the part we've seen. Alright. Now here it is. Looks like we've got a Galactic Federation ship here. It's kind of grounded though. So let's just approach. You're right, Tia. He had a fan. Now remember, Samus's main way of interacting with anything is through her gun. Well, at least now we're going to see what happens to these troopers. They just ran across some pirates and pursued them to the surface. And like Samus, their ship got damaged by the storm. Oop. So it looks like this unit was the one in charge of repairing the ship, which, well, I don't know how that worked out. Hang on, those don't look like the splinters we've been fighting. Yeah, the facehuggers coming out of the walls. They're coming out of the goddamn walls. So, yeah, things did not go well for this part of the crew. This is Captain Exeter. Stupid to stir up a hornet's nest, especially if you plan on sleeping under it. Seems you figured that lesson out a little too late, Exeter. Some captain you turned out to be. That's probably... Specialist Triplet, what do you have to say? Splinters, remind him of a killer bug he saw on another planet. Fast, take too many bullets to kill. Might have to go to bayonets. And, is it just this guy? Oh, here's Haley. This is the one that the other guy said was going crazy. Going paranoid. Thinks he's gonna get eaten. Well, you know what? Is it really paranoia if you're not wrong? Something I've always kind of wondered. So, Private First Class Milligan, what do you have to say? Browder lost the bet, so he switched watch duty with me. Figure the section is nice and safe and boring. Oops. Well, joke's on you, Milligan. Sorry to say. Oh, come on, there we go. Was that Lance Corporal? That's probably Lance Corporal, right? Oh, he's just complaining about running out of ammo, because he never runs out of ammo. He's the guy who doesn't like to shoot his gun all the time. Oh, this just tells you, like, who sits in which chair. That's neat, I guess. But that's, like, extremely not important, I think. Another map station here. Well, most of the doors seem to be locked off for now. Something I should have been able to open? Ah, this was it. That's what I overlooked. Ordnance crate. The personal weapons system inside. Must use heavy force. Like a charge beam. Got our missiles back. No fancy cutscene, and hey. Ooh, slow down. Dark Splinter. So those were the kinds that the troopers were fighting. That that seemed to make short work of the unit here. Shame that the troopers are not nearly as well equipped as Samus. Poor guys never stood a chance. Kinetic Orb Cannon. This is a new thing that they had. I guess they had a lot of fun implementing it. Turn Samus into a cannonball. Why not? Let's see. Private First Class, Dennis? Only one left. Oh, is gone and dead. Wait. Hold on. I feel like I missed one of the troopers already. Gotta go back and take a quick peek to make sure I got him. Oh no! Foiled by the gate that has locked me away. I can't blow up. Damn. A little sad that I missed this last entry because I played through a little bit about this far to make sure that the game would run smooth enough for me to be comfortable streaming it. I know I found that last trooper. Yeah, I mean there are 5 bodies here. Or let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And there's that 6th body. Oh, you know what? There it is. That's the last one. Craney. What does Private Craney have to say? Last night at Chow, Angseth starts talking about some bounty hunter and how she blew up a planet full of space pirates. Told her I didn't believe in fairy tales like that, and she took it personal. Wow. So rude, Craney. Just find it hard to believe that one person took out an entire space pirate base. Well, someone has obviously not been paying attention. Someone should have partaken in this history course here. Love that. I think it's incredible, though, that Samus is on... Yeah, exactly. Fanboy's a fangirl. I knew that before, I just wanted to keep that vague. For reasons. But I love that in the Metroid universe, there is a Santa, there is a Bigfoot, and Samus is on that same level of mythology. Incredible. She's just so good that no one can believe it. Anyway, time to progress for real. Let's see. Got some giant wasps, war wasps again. Even on a completely different planet, they're basically the same. They like to spit some kind of venom at you out of their stingers, which I don't even want to know how that works. And they're supposed to have hives or something that you can blow up. Oh, of course you can scan the orb cannons. I mean, I must have missed something. Oh, there it is. Remember how the game told me that sometimes I would need to look around, and what it really meant was look up? I'm gonna blow up that wasp nest. Scanning it count. Scanning it counts. Alright. Take out the next one. Yeah, that should work. Oh, there's one up there on that ledge that I can't reach. So I'll leave it be for now. Mostly because I only have 2 missiles left. Hey. Bees. Get out of here, bees. Wasps. Whatever. That's all the same to me. Buzz and they fly around and no one likes them. Well, okay, people like bees. I can concede that. There we go, I should have scanned this earlier. So it is... It was damaged, but not damaged enough for missile. But missiles will soften it up, so that's good. Let's see here. Oh, who's this fellow? Dead for 8 cycles. Unknown chemical. Of a mummification chemical. Don't know what it does to people who are alive. Naturally, the elevators are back. The conveniently disguised, or not conveniently, cleverly disguised loading screens. 8.1 cycles. Some kind of toxin. Same size. Same time since death. Possibly a warrior, but no equipment? That's weird. Kind of floats the idea that it wasn't oh, hello. Slow down, will you? Guess it won't be down. It floated the idea of some kind of infighting, but I'm not sure if ever any payoff to that, to be honest. I'll be right back then. Just a moment, please. The unfortunate thing about my setup here is that everything is so seriously balanced. Anyway. Now, do these cables point to anything fun? I guess those cables are really just there to point you to this save station. That's fine. That's weird. Well, if we're gonna find out what this thing is about, we're gonna have to get closer. I don't see anything going wrong from this. Alright, so, looks like the... Oh, there we go. Oh. Remember what I was saying about precarious balance? That should be good now. So I'm pretty sure that cutscene made it clear. Well, I guess, the final report from the troopers did too. That that these splinters have been possessed by something. This is an alpha splinter, so it's strong, it's fast. Game wants you to use your strafing. I am doing a fantastic job, apparently. Of course, it's not just a regular alpha splinter we're gonna have to fight. It's gotta be a dark one. That's a real boss. Luckily, since this is the first boss of the game, it's really not a threat. I mean, going dark was supposed to make it stronger, and it is a piece of cake. Strange glowing orb. Unknown technology. Well, that means we have to touch it. Touch the orb, put your hand in it. Do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Looks like we've got an unknown item. But at least it's not hurting anything. That's the takeaway here. All of these doors are blocked off except for one, so time to press onward. Oh, this is, not quite a first. As far as this series of playthroughs goes, this is the first case, though, of a someone who actually talks to Samus, like a living, breathing being. Lumos, the of the Luminoth. So a cosmic object fell, and it just, well, it blew a hole in space-time. So there's an ether, and there's some kind of a dark ether. That's, what we've been fighting. The thing's called the Ing. 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 So this is a kind of a war that's been going on for a long time. There's some kind of energy holding up the both planets, but and there it is. Planetary energy. Vague, but I'll allow it. should one side get all of the energy, then the other will disappear. The three temples. And here's the other thing. Now we have the we have a translator module. So I glossed over it, but the gist is that the light of this planet has been almost completely extinguished. We only just barely saved it from the brink, and now it's time to push back. Now we've got access to new lore. Let's take a quick peek. So the Luminoth are not a native race, seems. Bathing in the glorious light of 1,000 stars. In case you couldn't tell, the Luminoth are moth-like people. So of course they're bathing in the glorious light. So they met a number of other races, including the Chozo. How convenient. Well, there was something there that's interesting. Namely that once you've scanned one of those holograms, the projector goes offline. So, an easy way to tell at a glance without having to scan again. Yeah, the interesting thing there, and by interesting I mean kind of weird, is that they talk about all these races that just decided to make some planet their homeworld. And I don't know, I just find it so odd that you could have this race of sentient peoples. They just forget where they came from. They're from somewhere out in space, but who knows where. I mean, yeah, clearly they're colonial in some way. I mean, that piece of lore said that they didn't actually come from Aether, although they've lived here long enough that the other piece of scan information says that they're indigenous. But, I mean, it had to come from somewhere. It's true. Mothman is real. We're going to save his planet. Because, well, we've got nothing better to do anyway. I mean, the ship is damaged. It's, auto repair is going to take some time. So, yeah, why not just, you know, wage an interdimensional war? Light flyers, they're nothing. Little charge beam will take care of them. Alright, so now we can access these gates. Let's see if I can pull it up on the map. That's the wrong button. But that icon there, that T icon, that actually means a translator door. So for once, there are doors that Samus can't just blow up with any kind of weaponry. Now she has to actually read to open some doors. So, you know, that's good. She's broadening her horizons, is what that means. Earbuds are not staying in right. Okay. Oh wait, I should actually go. Oh, there's a missile door right there. That's probably got some goodie inside, so. And there are more ing. Well, apparently that was bad timing on my part. Oh well. Oh, there we go. That's a nice prize. I'll never say no to health extension. Okay. Looks like the next goal is through the industrial site. So back where... Wait, no. Hold on. Not going to be that way. Well, not that way at all. What? Oh wait, no. Yeah, I was right the first time. I was confusing my area names for a moment there. I thought the industrial site would be the marine compound. Wasn't it here? Yeah, there's next door. The path to the Aegon Waste. And who's this? Key-bearer war. J. May. Let's see. That's actually gonna be kind of an end game thing. So remember how at the end of Prime 1 we were supposed to find artifacts? Well, there's something like that for this game. The heck was that? My phone gave me a notification and I have no idea why. Didn't recognize the icon. Oh wait. Come on. New area, new scan. Moonlight, whatever the hell those are. Did I just disconnect or something? Is that what happened? Oh, that's awkward. It looks like I'm still recording, so at least there's that. But hold on. I should probably check here. It says reconnecting. I don't know if I trust it. Not until I get some confirmation. Really weird. So I'm getting chat on my computer, but I don't know why it says reconnecting. Disconnected. Why? Can I just like force it to reconnect? Is this a Twitch thing? This is gonna be off. Well, maybe I'll just have to reboot Streamlabs. We'll see how that works. So, for the folks watching on YouTube, I guess this is going to be a two-parter.